The lifestyles of the rich and the famous? No. Here we take a look at the people who take care of the people who are the rich and the famous. Here we take a look at the state of the estate. With your host, Walter Piers.
Hi, I'm Walter Piers. I'm here with Dave Barry Jr., and this is a state of the estate.
Well, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. DEMA has helped me a lot since being put into a jam with my principals. The fact is that they gave me this house, which is from 1960s, to finish the outside, and that was okay as we're redoing a gate and everything for an event that's going to be out of this world. But what they ended up doing was telling me I had to finish the inside in 4 weeks, and the fastest I've ever finished a house was 8 weeks.
Right, well, you got a big job here, Dave. That's why there's Mike from DEMA that hopefully he can help finish this job for you. Let's go take a look at it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Hey, Dave, this is Mike from B&C Maintenance Concepts. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Good to see you.
It's good to see you, Mike.
It's a big job. Yeah. Right?
The one problem I did have is that they had the principals had such a low period of time to want this done. In this world of their lifestyle, there is no. So you just produce. And I'm so glad you could respond so fast, especially with a accredited contractor from DEMA who is so obviously brilliant and intelligent like you guys do to bring this here to get me out of this scenario. The scenario I had here is they picked out these 6-inch cans, the old style, but they were regular bulb and they wanted LEDs. I know nothing about LEDs.
Right. It's there's a lot of new products out there. A lot of people are going to LEDs now, and we found a product that we could retrofit into a normal size can, recessed can. And so what we're doing is, again, designing on the fly.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm sitting as they're putting stuff up. I'm drawing the next thing, up for them. We did some searching. And we found some new products that actually retrofit to a standard recessed can. So we're using a standard recessed 4-inch can. It's 110 volt, and this product that we have is actually an LED with a transformer in it, so it's low voltage, and it plugs into the 110 into the socket in the recessed can, and it's all one piece, part of the recessed trim also. Now the trim actually swivels too, and that's what we really needed here. That was another thing that was really kind of hard to find, but we found one that had a swivel in it, and this trim swivels 25 degrees.
Right.
This roof is a 412, which is 22.5 degrees. Okay. And so that gives us a flexibility to actually come down 90 degrees if we want.
Hey, Mike, let's take a look at your lighting plan here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to turn it around here so we can see it. And what I did here was, before I showed you the floor plan, but this is like an elevation, kind of a quick one. I just had a couple hours last night to put this together after we decided on the fixtures. And it's a cut through of this section here. Kind of an elevation looking through here, and so when you look at it here, we spaced all of these recessed lights. They're about 37 inches apart from the floor straight up, and then they're about 48 inches coming back this way. But because the trims have the angle, adjustment on them, we'll have to adjust those because we don't necessarily want them to come down 90 degrees to the floor because we want to flood the area properly. So my drawing kind of shows the degree of, they have about a 30-degree splay, we call it, of lighting, and nice. So we want those areas to cross. So once we get up there, I calculated some angles
It's equivalent to a 50-watt light bulb. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's about 6.5 watts of energy it uses, and it's equivalent to a parabolic reflector, so you get a really nice spread on it, which is beautiful. And the customer is going to love it. So now we're in another part of the house, the bathroom. And apparently we lost Dave.
Well, Dave's a real busy guy. It's hard to even get a hold of him for a few minutes. But we have the next best thing, or maybe the first best thing. This is Dave Senior, actually, and Dave here, he's also the licensed electrical contractor for BNC, and also the job superintendent. He runs the job here, and so we get to work together a lot. And I help him basically just with some of the design, selecting all the different interior, fixtures and different things like that, lighting. Then we kind of brainstorm on the fly again of how we're going to fit, certain things in the right places.
So what are we going to do here in the bathroom then?
Okay. Well, Dave will kind of explain what happened. It was kind of the same scenario as the kitchen with the lights. We're remodeling again after it was already drywalled and ready to go. So what we did here was I designed two options for the owner, who hasn't even approved these yet. But we kind of have two different options here, and we're hoping that he goes with, one like that or one of these. And so what we're going to do is we're going to lay out the lighting around this vanity that's going to go around in the corner here. And we need to lay out lighting and electrical for this area. So, and we're going to make it so that it works either in this or in this design.
So you can just do one thing. You don't have to change it all.
There might, hopefully we won't be too much, remodeling again.
Okay,
What we're gonna do.
Dave, why don't we go over here and you can show us what you have to do to
Alright.
make that possible.
Over on this side
Yeah.
over here.
Dave Senior, tell me what you're going to do here. Obviously, this doesn't belong here.
Well, what we had here is we had a wall through here with a door going over to that direction. And in this area, we had a dressing area for makeup. And then over on here, we had a sink. And now we're going to put in a double sink, which is 6 feet long, which means the dressing area has got to be moved to the other room. And we're going to be putting in more lights, and the switches and stuff that are here have to go over on that wall.
Right.
Those switches on that wall have to come over to this wall. We need to put GFI outlets over here. We need to put another outlet on this area here, and lights above it. And then of course all the cans, which are 6-inch, are going to be now 4-inch, and we have to take them out and
Repipe all them.
repipe it all and redo it.
Back to LED, right?
Right.
Right to LED.
Okay.
We saw the two new designs, and so what we're going to do now, Dave Senior and I are going to actually lay out the electrical. I started to do that here from my plans. The cabinets, you'll have base cabinets with 2 sinks in the middle with 2 outer drawer bases, and then above we're going to have what we call towers that'll come up on the ends for a lot of storage, and you can put your toothbrushes, shavers in there. So we're going to have outlets in the corners, inside the cabinets. We have to get those in. We're going to have to get outlets above the sinks. Those are GFIs that he talked about. So we have to get those located so that the electricians could start roughing that in. And then we're going to rough in some sconces above the mirrors that'll be above the sinks. And then we're, like Dave said, we'll be moving these cans, putting new cans in that'll be LEDs. So there's a lot of moving switches, a lot of pipes that have to be moved. There's a lot of work that has to be done today. And so Dave and I are going to be here in the next few minutes here. Dave and I are going to just be laying all this out and marking everything so the electricians could get in here today and get all this stuff moved. We got switches to move. We have cans to relocate and change because they were 6-inch and they're going to be the 4-inch. And to get all these outlets and GFIs, and obviously the switches need to be moved because there was a door here. So there's a lot of work just in here. It's probably a day's work just to get all this stuff moved.
You guys do have a lot of work ahead of you. I don't want to keep you. So thank you guys. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
so sorry I had to leave, but this is the situation I ended up in. We got a well here that's well into like the 1930s.
I can see that.
And we've had a major problem, and we've been trying to do a maintenance on it, but as we went to pull the main pump out of this well under a farmhouse that's down, the well, we realized, is collapsed, and I'm sure Russ can explain more of that.
The 10-inch well casing originally was about a half-inch thick all the way around. As we went to disconnect the seal off the top, it started flaking apart, and a big hole just opened up and all the pieces of rust fell into the well.
Oh, that's not good.
And as we're trying to get the seal out the top of the well, more pieces are falling in, and there's an opening about this big right through the side of the casing going down the well.
And
Yes.
we'll end up going down there and taking a look at it. What happened is I'm in a real dilemma now, because we were trying to do a maintenance on a 90-some-year-old well that caved in. The problem is I can't tear up the lawn to dig a new well since that one's caved in, because out in the field over there within a month, we're gonna have a big gathering event that is really high end.
That does sound like a problem.
Yeah, so now we're gonna kinda try and leave it since it's a 2-well system and hope and pray that it'll hold together. But with Rusty's talents and expertise and company and working with DEMA, I think we're right where we need to be because I feel more comfortable.
Fantastic. That's where DEMA comes in handy. Look at this issue right here. How are you going to deal with this?
Well, what we'll have to do first is take a metal plate, put it back down, and then we can put the pavers back on it. Because as you'll see, we'll go down farther into the room where the well actually caved in, because there's an underground bunker area where the well's actually at.
Okay. And then more issues over there.
We'll put it right back over the doors like nothing ever happened.
Fantastic. That's great. That's where Rusty comes in. Taking care of things here, right?
Well, helping out.
Absolutely. Take a look at this.
Yeah.
Dave, what are you going to do here?
Cover it back up temporarily until we can get back to it in a month to do the actual repairs. This gets us down closer to the well from the outside rather than a narrow staircase going down.
Okay. All right, fantastic. All right, let's go take a look.
It's unbelievable what happened that I got pulled away.
Yeah, show everybody.
The whole face of the well has collapsed, but the difference is we've been having problems with the well in general since it's 90 years old.
Oh.
It's obvious that the deterioration, which this is the side of the well, the actual thickness should be about 3 inches.
Yeah.
So now it's actually decaying and falling apart, but the difference is too, the well down that's farther means the whole tank down there as well.
So it's probably all decayed in there as well.
Yes,
So how do you solve this then?
I'll leave it.
Looks like a huge problem here, so,
But what I will do is show you what brought us to this.
Okay.
We had a main break of an 8-inch break down in the well area that almost flooded out. Around the corner here is where our electrical system is.
Right.
And I'll show you what we've done.
so Dave, I noticed some high voltage electricity here
Yeah.
right next to water.
Yeah, big, huge issue. It's a 4,000 amp system for the whole property. It's enough for almost like a small little town. The thing that brought us up to the well and what we just found as we were trying to do a maintenance on it, brought us to it, was some of the main pipes that are from 1930s and that you will see gave away, almost filling up a room with these big tanks that would have hit this in less than 5 minutes and would have taken down the whole subdivision.
Wow, well, let's go take a look at them. So, Dave, this looks brand new here. Tell me what happened.
Well, what happened is we got a dime-sized hole in this 90-year-old pipe. I had to turn this valve off real quick, isolating the principal's house before it would fill up in 10 minutes to do this repair.
Ah, then that would be a huge issue because you have electric right over here, so that could have just knocked everything out, right?
And it did. That's what took us up to the well, realizing where more of our problem is. So we're gonna have to repair all the pipes and valves in this area along with that after the event.
Great, yeah, that's where DEMA comes in handy.
Oh, DEMA is phenomenal. They've taught me who to call, what to do about it, and not to panic so much.
Fantastic job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dave, it looks like we have a little bit of power here. What's going on?
Yeah, this is where the main system powers up the 4 transformers here for the entire property. This is above the actual locker. We were down near the door a few minutes ago, but if this would have filled up, it would have taken down the whole system and everything, including the entire complex.
Major issues.
Yeah, so you have to know a lot of what you're doing.
So after having an emergency main break, which interrupted our remodeling of a house, we come to this beautiful entrance, and it is humongous. Dave, tell us some of what you have going on here.
Well, what we've done is we've upscaled this more glorious entrance with bigger pillars, the renovation of the pond's edge by clearing and putting more conservation and wildlife back to not mess up with the ecosystem. But at the same time, we put ribbons on either side of the blacktop and created a road that goes that way. The difference is it takes a whole team to do this.
Absolutely, and that's where DEMA comes in handy.
DEMA comes in very handy with that, but at the same time, it takes a whole team to do this, and I'm very glad about this team. Let's go this way.
So we just came from the main gate after having water issues and having to rehab a house in a pretty fast amount of time. Now it looks like Dave is neck deep in manure. What's going on?
This is where we do our recycling program. We end up taking the horse manure and mixing it with a dirt mix after 3 months of turning to use it as a compost mix, both in our flower beds, our gardens, on our horse pastures, and even the main house that is ran like a resort. We have our green effort of ecosystem back here by taking plants that are in need of help and health care and bring them back here and bring them back to life and then put them somewhere else on the estate. This is where we store all our rock, our pavers, things like that that most people don't see, that what it takes to run a little city like this within a city. So it's kind of cool to have people come beyond the gates to see really what it takes to run estates like this or homes or anything like this. So I appreciate people coming back.
So as you can see, this is a huge job. It takes a guy like Dave to be able to do it. What's next?
I don't know, let's go see. Wow, you know, as you see, it becomes so diverse in everything we do. I mean, we incubate all different types of birds, from swans, peacocks, to pheasants, to chickens. I never thought I'd ever have to know anything about birds. Being an engineer, I thought I'd just have to worry about the incubator.
You have a lot of stuff here to worry about, apparently.
Take a look here. See all the different, I mean, it's so cool. I'll show you the incubator where we started them at. And then we actually put them, we got a wild bird program, we got a butterfly program, we got a horse program, we got a horticultural with all organic, different gardens. Each flower is different. We grow our own flowers starting in March or November of last year to do for the fall, spring, summer, winter change. You'll have to come around during Christmas.
Yeah,
it looks like a
absolutely.
city. Well, thank you for coming out. I wanted people to see what it was like from the bottom all the way to the top. It is a luxurious job, but it's also getting down in the dirt and grubby with everybody else. So thank you for coming along.
Absolutely. Thanks
It's
for
very
having
nice
us.
to meet you.
Thanks for having us. I'm Walter Piers,
And I'm David Berry Jr.
and we're on State of the Estate.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So there you have it, a day in the life of a property